Good morning, students. Today I am going to teach you a very important lecture on the relationship between Raju and Roji in the novel R. Kinnared's The Guide. This episode plays a very vital role in our syllabus because all the episodes are interlinked with this episode. So we have studied the character of Raju and Roji both. Today I would like to teach you a very important thing, that what was real connection between the two main characters. Although the chapter is very lengthy, but I would like to read or teach important things for you. Arkinard's novel The Guide portrays the live-in relationship of Raju and Roji. The subject of individual relationship has always been very dominant in Arkinard's novels. This paper aims to study how the uncertainty and separation faced by Roji resulted in a relationship of mutual benefit between Roji and Raju in the novel The Guide. Both are deeply engaged in a relationship out of wedlock for the fulfillment of their emotional, physical, and economic desires. Arkinarn's ability of creative writing presents a mixture of comic genius, humorous touch, realistic, vivid, and remarkable characterization, originalism, and command over the words. He is one of the most artistic creators of Indian writers. His sole aim is being to give aesthetic fulfillment and not to use his talent as a medium of misinformation or to serve some social reason only. He is a simple writer with no pretension to be known as a champion scholar. He describes a number of themes in his literary works and also in the guide. There is a concept of live-in relationship in the guide, so sharply explained by the author that no one could oppose the situation. This is not a new point in society. We can see through history that such kind of relations are not long lived. Even today also you can see so many issues in the society as well as in the novel also. The present episode is an honest attempt to attract the attention of the readers and lovers of literature towards the importance of Roji and Raju relationship. Both are the most popular characters in the novel. The research scholar further explains that literature preaches us the actual meaning and sublimity of life. Roji, the protagonist of the novel The Guide by R. Kinnaird, is a multifaceted personality. Her transformation from being a Devdasi to an MA in economics is indeed remarkable. Despite being rejected by her husband for infidelity, she becomes a successful professional dancer by her dedication, patience, and hard work. Yet, like any other typical Indian woman, and she regrets her failed marriage. Arkanal illustrates the typical snooze, mm, Indian woman who loves her husband, notwithstanding his every fault, and always feels proud of her husband. Though she belongs to a family of dancers, she is highly educated and is influenced by her husband and her background. She is presented in the novel as a beautiful dancer of the Devdasi variety of temple dancers. In South and parts of East India, a Devdasi or Jogini is a girl dedicated to worship and to the service of a deity or a temple. Roji is the daughter of a dancer and hence she belongs to a lower strata of the society. From a very early age, she was very fond of and passionate about dancing. Later on, she attains fame and popularity as a dancer by performing on stage. She is highly educated woman with independent mind and thinking. She is very mature, but at times she behaves like a child. She is a dreamer and loves to be in a world of fantasy. She is not materialistic. For her, money has never been a concern. She dances because dance is her life. She wanted to be a dancer in pursuit of art and not in pursuit of money. She is a perturbed soul and suffers from an inferiority complex because of her birth in a lower caste of the society. She is a highly ambitious woman. She married Marco not out of love but because of his social status. Marco is a highly successful scholar, but due to her devotion and hard work, Rosie attains a greater fame and recognition as a dancer than her husband gets as a scholar. Rosie is the young, beautiful, and charming wife of Marco. She is a born dancer. She has all the qualities that a man seeks for in a perfect wife. But despite all her qualities, her marriage has been like a curse in disguise to her as Marco is totally engaged in his career. It is totally lackadaisical and unemotional to her. She feels neglected by Marco. Marco often forgets his duty as a husband towards his beautiful young wife. She is very passionate about dancing, but her husband doesn't approve of and all allow her to dance. She is a typical traditional Indian wife. Her husband is like God to her. Marco ridicules her dancing skills and calls it street acrobatics and compares it to monkey dance. In spite of all these humiliations, she continues to be his wife. The subject of individual relationship has always been very dominant in Arkanat's novel. He has exposed the relationship between friends and classmates, father and son, husband and wife in a radiant method. In his novels, these associations generally rotate out money and sex. In the same way, in the guide, the association between Raju and Roji revolves approximately sex and money. There are lots of points to prove that concepts of live-in relationship stretch out in the guide. Both the central characters of the novel, Raju and Roji, deeply engaged in live-in relationship. We know very well that Rosie gets married with Marco, but she is not happy with him. He couldn't satisfy to Rosie emotionally and physically. There is something strongly sensuous about her. She radiates sensuality since she has been involved in a married life that doesn't satisfy her physical desires. There is sufficient confirmation in the novel to recommend that there is the novel to recommend that there is no sexual relationship between the married couple. Next morning, so these are examples. He says that next morning I found the atmosphere on once and again and back tense. All the vivacity of the previous evening was gone when their room opened. Only he came out fully dressed and ready. I poured him a cup of tea. Joseph has brought tiffin. Will you not taste it? No, let us be going. I'm okay. He he always busy in his study of rocks and caves. He doesn't feel and take any interest in her physical beauty. She was not very glamorous, if that is so. These are the very things in which Raju has not been shown fully attracted towards her. Have a figure in slight and slender one, beautifully fashioned eyes that sparkled, a complexion not white but dusky, which made her only half visible as if you saw her through a film of tender coconut juice. Rosie is so charming that Raju guide falls in love with her at the very first sight. She is also entangled with Raju as a result of love at first sight. When she first set her feel Ra- she is also entangled with Raju as a result of love at first sight. When she first set her feel at Malgudi railway platform, she asked Raju, "Can you show me cobra? A king cobra it must be, which can dance to the music of flute." Raju knows very well the art of treating women. He pays tribute to her voice for its sweet harmony. He takes interest in her while her husband doesn't do so. He wins her heart and seduces her that he is a true lover of dancing culture. Raju takes her to a place where a live dancing cobra could be seen. She is thrilled to see the dance. He throws flattering compliments at her and pays her bold compliments that Marco is busy now. His studies, thus leaving Raju to take care of his wife. Both Raju as well as Rosie are romantic by temperament. They want to enjoy the life fully. Now they are completely involved in their relationship. Now we come to the point here how they live their life. Now the result in live-in relationship starts come out of as well as in real society. Rosie Nalini, the dancer, is the creation of Raju, but the created object here transcends her creator. Raju had or less created Nalini, the dancer, and his motivation was not exactly an artist for Bharatanatyam. But Nalini doesn't remain a doll in Raju's hands. For her, dance is not a profession, a means of making money, but a cause devotion. And as Raju gets more deeply involved in the forgery case, Nalini begins to lead an independent life of her own. Finally, she goes out of Raju's influence altogether to become an illustrious artist on her own strength and lead a fuller life devoted to her art. Both Raju and Rosie in the beginning start living like a married couple. After some time, he didn't like Nalini, spending a lot of time with her co-artists. Soon Raju arrested by the police for forging the signature of Rosie on some documents sent by Marco. Rosie releases him after 3 days imprisonment on a bail of 10,000 rupees. Now she asks Raju to forget her. She never comes back for Raju and settled in Madras. We can say that both the central characters of the novel live with each other only to fulfill their physical and economic desires. This is the result of live in relationship as well as turn out in society today. Although Rosie and Raju relationship acquires a very little space in the novel, it serves as the central point of the whole story of the book. Arkanan has treated this relationship with enormous skill and excellence. Raju is the protagonist of the story. He was born in the fictional town of Malgudi. He belongs to a middle class family. He lives with his mother as his father died when Raju was very young. Raju became the only bread earner in his family at a very young age after his father's death. But he was very smart. He didn't stick to his family business only. He grew his father's shop and side by the side he started performing his role as a guide because railway always fascinates him. Soon he became very popular among the tourists with the name Railway Raju. He is very smart but has never attended school. He has an exceptional quality to find what people are looking for and satisfy them by providing them with what they desire for. He is a very slick and has a quick mouth. He often deceives people and conveys false information to achieve whatever he wants. Railway Raju is a fascinating character in Arcanans. The guide, the central theme of the novel is his transformation from a rogue and scoundrel and common to a spiritual guru, sage and a sadhu or a saint. He is a vagus devoted, sincere, self-serving, sincere redeemer, fake saint, and finally a good man who has the ability to change according to the demands of the situation. His career is marked by a series of role play. He is a vendor, guide, lover of Rosie, and friend of Marco, mentor, director, and business manager of Rosie in her career as a dancer, deceiver, jailbird, fake Swamiji, and finally a true sannyasi. At times he seems to be a corrupt guy who is wasteful and uses shortcuts to achieve his goals. And at times he seems to be a sensitive person who encourages love to live in to her potential, who tries to keep her happy, who gives up his life to maintain the faith of simple villagers who considered him to be a spiritual person. He never gives up an opportunity to impress people, to win them over, to win their favors and very good offers, opinions. It is this quality which makes him take up the challenge of the villagers in their plight when they need rain. So he goes off to the ruined old temple on the cliff of the hill and sits there and meditates, actually trying to be what he is pretending to be, that is spiritual guru in reality, to provide. And we have also discussed about the life and career of Marco. Now we come next to how their relationship grow. Both met and soon become friends once during her visit at Memphis when Rose is alone in the hotel room while her husband Mark is always researching caves in the Memphis forest. Raju becomes a sympathetic audience to Rosie's performance When they meet, Rosie is married to Mark. It, however, doesn't take long for Raju to infer that there is no love lost between the two. Raju becomes sympathetic to Rosie. Rosie is married to Marco, but it is not a happy marriage. Her husband, Marco, is a busy man. He is mostly gone out on archaeological studies. There is no compatibility between them. Rosie's obsession with dance and Marco's indifferent attitude towards her dancing skill is one of the underlying factors of their marital incompatibility. She feels dejected and heartbroken at Marco's trivializing her artistic inclinations. She gets frustrated when Marco forbids her to dance. Raju encourages her love for dance and to pursue her dream of becoming a great professional dancer. Marco's sheer neglect of Rosie encourages Raju, the guy, to make undue advances towards Rosie. Raju, who is desperately trying to impress Rosie, thus gets the opportunity and time to woo Rosie. Had Rosie been in a happy marriage, Raju attempts would not have made any difference, but her failed marriage had led her to get involved in a romantic relationship. Her affinity to Raju breaks her already settled marriage. So we have seen that how both get involved in the same relationship. Marco doesn't like her art. On the other hand, Raju encourages the Rosie's desire. To sum up, the research scholar comes to the point that Rosie is also true to her love. In spite of the forgery, Rosie doesn't desert Raju. Though Rosie comes to know about every treacherous and fraud activity of Raju, she compromises with the situation. Instead of punishing Raju for his deceit, she is determined, like a true beloved, to spend every penny that she is arranging a capable defense for Raju, although she has earlier decided to give up dancing as a profession. She signs fresh dancing contracts to raise more money for this purpose. In fact, her dignified and noble behavior brings out her sympathy. She embodies the feminine principle of ideal womanhood. She is religious by nature as she believes in goddess Saraswati and has the bronze image of Nataraja in her office. Her success doesn't get to her head as she remains a down to earth person even after becoming very successful in her dancing career. Once Raju became very upset because Rosie spent a lot of time with different artists and not with him. He came to her and said that these artists come to her because they are inferior to her. She replies to him saying that she doesn't believe in superior and inferior. She doesn't discriminate people on the basis of the financial status. On one hand, when Raju prefers to meet people who are very rich and influential in the society, Rosie doesn't care much about these people. Being herself an artist, she respects art and likes to be in the company of artists and other music lovers. To conclude, we can say that Narayan's humor doesn't result from distortion, exaggeration. It shows an observation of the common man weakness, follies and fables. His humor is varied and all pervasive. The reminiscence of Raju makes the novel realistic as well as suspenseful. The flashback technique arouses the curiosity and interest of the reader. The readers never get bored and are always on the looks out about what comes next. It also proves Narayan's skill as a born storyteller and a curiosity racer. Thank you, students. I think you have understood the matter and the content of the topic. Thank you.